All right, everybody, welcome back to the Last But Not Least podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Snap Episode.
Boy KG.
And we got a special guest with us here today.
Hi, I'm Chessie. How are y'all?
Yeah, man. So definitely, Chessie was just giving us some information about, or more so a topic, I think, that we're going to kind of pivot to. In marriage, should you stay in it or should you suffer in silence? As they say.
That's a good question, though.
That's a mouthful. That's a mouthful. I guess, I don't know. So you said you were reading a post.
Yeah, the post says that Monique Samuel is divorcing from her husband of 11 years. I think she was someone who was on like the Real Housewives series or something like that. Basically, she's divorcing him after 11 years. And Tyrese is commenting. He's saying, okay, divorce is not it. Y'all been together 17 years, 11 years of marriage. There's got to be a way to honor the word you gave to Jesus. Then he refers to his ex-wife. She left me and refused to come back. People reconcile all the time, praying over y'all. So basically, he like, stay married, work on it.
Right.
I feel like people, before they get to divorce, they tried that. Like, nobody is just like, we get a divorce tomorrow, just for no reason. Well,
I don't know. There are some people, I think, that get divorced because it is financially beneficial. So you have some people that, I'm not going to say no names, Kim Kardashian, that got married. And as soon as you became part owner of Yeezus and all that stock that you inherited from your husband, now all of a sudden you don't need him. So there are some people who try to work the system. You got people who get married for green cards and stuff like that, for immigration and stuff like that. And they do not hold true to that. And I don't know, 2023, I don't know if marriage means today what it used to mean. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
It should. I think if someone is going to decide to get married, then it should. If it doesn't mean that to you, don't do it.
That's true. That's true.
But
well, so and that's a good question. Like, but if you look at today's like just the housing market, right? Financially, it's almost like to your detriment to be single. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the average one bedroom right now is like $1,800, which is crazy.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's like,
wild.
I mean, some people get married out of necessity. Like, I can't pay these bills by myself. I need some help.
I need you.
I need some extra, you know, and I don't think that's the right reason to get married. Obviously, I think your heart has to be in it. I think you want to internalize what it is that you want. But I think our current status or our current stride to be better, our ambition is kind of what pushes people towards divorce, because it's like in every other aspect in your life, you consistently want to upgrade, right? From your car to your job to your house. Everybody always wants to upgrade. Even your phone gets upgraded like every 2 years.
Which is stupid.
Yeah.
Now that's the only thing that it is. It's ridiculous.
It is.
And my as a matter of fact, Apple, my phone been slowing down. I got a 12.
I mean, it's time.
I got a 12. Y'all shouldn't be doing me like this.
And you can't go to the 13. You gotta go up to the newest.
You gotta go up.
Yeah, and that's gonna cost you. I digress. But it's like every other aspect of your life, you're trying to improve. Right. So it's almost natural to look at your significant other and say, am I really getting everything out of this? You know what I'm saying? Like, can I upgrade here? I think that's like a natural thing.
Is there something you ask while you in it, or do you ask before?
That's exactly what I was going to say. You need to ask yourself before. Because I would say, even with now, when I date, if I date someone, I ask myself, what would my life look like with this man? Okay. Do I like the way that looks? Do I feel like it would be better with a different? And if I feel like it's gonna be better elsewhere, then I'm gonna break it off. I'm not gonna even get to the point of boyfriend girlfriend because I'm not there with it.
Well, so that's a very unique conversation to have when you're talking about like what you think you can obtain opposed to what reality gives you. So for guys, it's a lot different. Like women, you are bombarded with men who are trying to get in your space, obviously, on a regular basis. But guys, we consistently go out and we have to get denied. You know, out of every one female that you talk to, you probably got denied 16, 17 times. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the numbers are anymore, but theoretically speaking, right? Yeah. So if that's the case, then when you get to a female that's rocking with you, like, is that really the one, or is that just the one that you could rock with at the moment? That's a tough distinguish to make.
I think that's when you should ride it out. Like, if y'all rock and see where it go. And then if it don't go nowhere, you know, be still free enough to move on and do something.
What? Yeah.
But a lot of people say, I don't want to waste my time I don't want to I don't want to start over. And
yeah, they do say that.
Yeah, but
I guess that's life though.
And then
It
people
is.
change too.
I mean,
Yeah.
People change.
Yeah.
So, for instance, like, okay, when you talk about like just friendships, not like you're dating somebody, but like people you go to high school with that you lose contact with, not because y'all fell off, but just because maturity wise, our goals don't align anymore. When we was younger, we was just trying to graduate. Shit, that was it.
right.
Let me
Yeah.
let me try to pass biology class. That was all I was concerned with, and you had the same concern. So we had a common interest. But the older we get, the more we start growing apart. Because now my ambition either slowed down or sped up, and yours slowed down and sped up, and we're not on the same level no more.
Right.
So what do you do when that's in a marriage, right? When I think Deion Cole said it, when you met somebody on this level and you should have kept going through the levels, but you stayed there with them trying to help them improve, but they never wanted to improve. You know what I'm saying? And now you either married, you got kids, you got situations. So it's like, what do you do in that situation? Do you stick it out, or do you, pull a Keke Palmer?
If you willing to,
I think
if you
gotta
willing to
have
keep it, you work it out.
You gotta have a conversation with your spouse about that, and if they feel like, well, I ain't doing it no way, so you just wasting your breath, and maybe you should get out of the situation. But if you come to them and they understand where you're coming from, and they're like, man, you're right, I wasn't grown with you, I'm sorry, let's work on it. It's two people. It really takes two people to be able to have that conversation. Sure. And I do think that people these days don't do it.
Yeah.
They don't.
So essentially, and I think we had this on a topic to discuss one day, was, do you date people for potential? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we had a conversation a couple episodes ago, maybe last episode ago, about Ebony K. Williams, who said she wouldn't date a bus driver unless he owned the bus.
I saw that. I saw that.
Yeah. And then it's like, but so do you date the bus driver hoping he owns the bus one day, or do you have to be kind of shallow? You know what I mean? Like, how do you
I can't speak for women, but I think a lot of women do date for potential. They see the potential, like, oh, he's a hard worker, he got ambition. If he tag on with me, I can help him boost him up, and we can be a power couple, as they say. I do think that.
I do think that's a part of it, yeah. No, I think that's a part of it, but I think there's different types.
Right.
And I think you got to be real about what kind of potential you're looking for. If I see somebody, sure, he's a bus driver, but when he get home from driving that bus, he works on his own business goals. Okay. Or he just works on himself as a person. He's working on self-motivation. Whatever that person is working on, that's the actual potential. But I think a lot of women get caught up on, oh, he's not that nice, but he got the potential to be nice to me one day. Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of potential we need to let go of. Like, oh, he never bought me no flowers, but he might do it one day. Mm-hmm. Let it go. Yeah. If he never started doing that, he ain't gonna never do it, But for somebody to build financially, that's definitely real potential to hold on.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. But I think it's a slippery slope in a sense, like, because it's like, there's something to be said about somebody who can be consistent in anything, right? Mm-hmm. So this bus driver that get up every morning and bring the check home to you, he may only make $50,000, but that is consistent. So it's just like, as a female, I ask you, like, so would you rather deal with somebody who consistently brings you home a $50,000 check annually, or would you rather deal with somebody investing in his rap career?
No, I'm not doing no rap career.
I'm just saying.
I can't.
My big statement drop.
I
mean, yes, as long as you got something else on the forefront. So you're working on your goals.
Let me ask you this. If he's happy being a bus driver, like, he comes home, he gives you a check, y'all have fun, that's all he want to do is just drive the bus. That's his enjoyment. Would you be okay with it? Or is that a stop?
I think I would be okay with a man doing whatever job he wants to do. Mm-hmm. However, I think I would have, or want to have a say so on how we turn the money that he is making into more money, regardless. Okay. That doesn't always mean changing his job. That could just mean, hey, let's not buy a new car right now, and let's use that extra money to invest in business. Okay. And he would have to be able to work with me on that instead of being like, well, I drove the bus, so I'm finna buy this car. So it's a give and take for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's reasonable. And I think as long as you have somebody on both sides that can be reasonable, I think it's salvageable. But I think what often happens a lot of times is women will meet a guy that they know ain't worth a nickel, and they be like, I can change him. And then when they realize that he not changing, it's too late. He done wasted your time. Yeah. You emotionally invested. You know what I mean? You probably put yourself in a compromising position at this point.
And that's when they want to say, "Oh, I don't want to start over."
Yeah, that's an excuse.
It's so sad.
Yeah, yeah. You dating Jody from Baby Boy.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I'm saying?
Terrible. I feel like our culture kind of sometimes we idolize toxicity when we shouldn't. I just think it comes with maturity to be able to say, okay, this is toxic. I know I participated in it, but for real, it's toxic. Yeah. You know, it comes. You have to get to a certain level of self-realization too to be able to say, I participated in the toxic part of it. Because a lot of women swear they good women and they swear they never did nothing wrong.
Say that again. One more time.
When they did, and it's like, wake up call, girlfriend. You did. Yeah. You was talking to that man crazy.
Right.
You did something wrong, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. And accountability, and that's funny you bring that up, is that like you see like a lot of YouTube channels nowadays popping up where they try to hold women accountable, and the first thing women do is they get defensive, and it's like, if you're gonna be accountable, you can't. That's like getting caught speeding and then talking to the officer. But officer, they speeding too. Right. Yeah, but I got you pulled over. This is your situation. Mm-hmm. Let's focus on what you did wrong instead of trying to say, well, the man didn't do this and the man didn't do that. We're not saying that the man didn't, but where's your accountability at? Like, let's figure out how do we avoid doing this moving forward. And I think if you can do that, you start doing those moments of self-reflection, and I think you can improve, and then you can start spotting some of the flaws in some of these men that you're choosing. You know what I'm saying? But that's just, you know,
it's a journey. You got to get to that point to be able to do that, because it's hard to be like, wait, I'm acting crazy right now. Mm-hmm. Or, hold up, maybe I shouldn't have said it. That's hard for anybody to admit that they're wrong. People can't do that for me.
But we have to do it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, I be in the house like... That's why I be like, hey, I don't know what you talking about.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's a difficult thing to maintain. But it's like, men, we have to have humility. If not, then it's just like, oh, you know, you got to get in touch with your feminine side, and you need to open up more. That's good.
Wait a minute.
That's good. That's another thing you see floating around on some of these shows. Is like women consistently say, I need my man to open up. I need my man to speak. And it's like, women don't really need to be in male problems. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it has to get to a point. I'm not saying that he can't show any emotion, right? But you have to be the rock in the relationship if you're a man. You know what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion, right? I'm sure there's some relationships where it's not like that, but as I would look at an ideal relationship, a man has to be the rock. And if the rock is always crying, like what is everybody else doing?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
They cry too.
Right.
Pretty much.
What is getting done? You know what I'm saying? At some point, after you get done crying, everything you was crying about is still there. You know what I'm saying? So somebody needs to be trying to figure out, how do we push past what's making us cry? And I think that's the man's job. And if he's not doing that for you, I think you got a problem, man. You got a serious problem. So.
I think men are told, oh, you gotta be strong, you can't do this, you can't show emotion, you can't show weakness. But I think when you're in a marriage, or maybe even a relationship, if it's a good relationship, that person that you're with becomes kind of like an escape for all. Like, you should feel comfortable enough with your woman to, you know what, I had a heart. Mm-hmm. I'm feeling real upset about X, Y. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that's feminine to say, I'm upset about this. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a good way to communicate. You don't gotta say, oh my God, I'm so sad. If you say it like that, sure. Yeah, it's feminine. Right. But if you be like, you know what, babe, I had to deal with X, Y, Z today, and it really made me feel pissed off. And right now, I just want to be left alone. Yeah. That's fine, you know?
Yeah.
That's what we need. We need our men to be able to do that and be able to say that comfortably.
Right.
Now, in fairness, I get to those moments, I just don't say that. I think
most men.
Right. I just go play the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it ain't nothing you did. Yeah. It ain't nothing, and you ain't did nothing. This ain't got nothing to do with you. But sometimes men have to compartmentalize differently. Mm-hmm. So I don't know about KG, but like for me, talking about something may get me mad again. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I done already kind of like let it go or whatever like that. You're like, this nigga tried me at work, bro. Like now you done went back.
Now I got to go back to work.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was just trying to get over it and not kind of talk about it. just because that's just how I process things. And I think if we can understand like men and women process things differently and we can respect how we process things. Like if you get overly emotional, I can't get mad at you because that's how you process things. But if I don't get overly emotional, that don't mean I don't care. That just means I process things a little bit differently than you. You know what I'm saying? So
as long as you communicate that beforehand, everybody should. Like when you get home, your wife probably knows, okay, if he in there on the game, let me just let him cheat.
Yeah.
Because you have built that relationship. Y'all built that understanding. And that's what people be just skipping over. They just skip right on over it. Oh, and then they get on the phone with their homegirls. Oh, girl, he acting crazy. He ain't saying nothing to me today. Well, you don't even know what's going on. You just want to bash. Right.
Yep.
Well, meanwhile, he's just trying to woo stop.
Yeah. But you know what? I do believe there are some people that fall into relationships that create drama because that's all you see. Like when you turn on the television, everybody's relationship has drama in it. So you feel like less of a woman if your relationship don't have drama in it. It's crazy. Like I see people manifest problems in their relationship, something that ain't got nothing to do about nothing. Why are y'all arguing about it? Right. You know what I mean? So yeah. I
mean, I think some relationships thrive off the toxicity.
Yeah.
Thrive is a strong word.
It is, but I think if you think about it, you get into an argument, you try to settle the argument, and then you have the most amazing sex. What more do you want from me? I'm just saying, some relationships go like that.
Yeah.
You don't think so? I mean,
I think toxic relationships thrive off of toxic.
Yes.
Okay. That's fair, I guess. I don't know if you faking an argument to have makeup sex is healthy.
Not fake, no. That's toxic.
Yeah, I mean, I just how long is that sustainable?
I think so. I might have did it before.
You might have did. Oh, Lord, here we go with a story.
I think I might have did it before.
Oh, Lord.
And why would you do that?
Because I wanted to say.
Oh my God.
So I made up some kind of lie or something that.
Just to argue about.
Just to argue and say, I'm tired. It's like all the tension build up and then you like, all right, it's time to release it.
Yeah.
Let's go to the bedroom.
You know what though, and I don't know. I may be different in this. I may be a unicorn. I get mad. I ain't trying to do no fucking. Like, just don't. I don't want to talk because I'm in my mood. I don't want to be coddled. I don't want to cuddle. I don't want to be next to you, especially if you're the purpose or the reasoning behind me being upset. I don't have that kind of fuzzy feeling when I get upset. Like, oh, let's lay up. I don't. It don't do that.
I get mad, but I'll be mad, and if you walk up on me and you just start doing some things. My mood gonna change.
You're gonna forget all about it.
Right.
Doing some things.
Like fellatios, I'm just saying.
Some fellatios.
If you start that, I'm like, what we were mad about?
Yeah.
What we were arguing about?
Yeah.
I'm saying, that'll change anybody's mood.
Yeah.
Male
it
or female.
Could, but if you be like, back up. Don't get up on me.
Hey,
what you supposed to do?
Ain't gonna,
come here. Give me them pants.
I mean, I'm not the type to be like, back up, get off of me. I'm like, okay, go ahead. I'm not mad anymore.
You're just gonna be with it.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
I just don't. I don't know, man. I don't know. It take a lot to get me upset. It really takes a lot. Like I don't think in my life I can think of one specific thing that made me upset. It was a collaboration of things that contributed to me being upset. And if I've gotten to that point mentally, I have to go through my process to calm down. And throwing me some ass is just not. It's not gonna do it.
Not a part of your process.
It's not gonna do it.
It just lets you know I really wasn't probably mad.
Yeah, right.
So it probably really don't bother me. Yeah,
right.
It's probably just like, okay,
it really didn't matter.
We're gonna deal with it.
He's trying to take it to Pound Town. That's what.
Right.
He's trying to take it to Pound Town.
Just need to release it. I mean, I guess it's like that too. I just think whatever works in your relationship, do. If it's unorthodox, who cares? They working in your relationship.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Do what you gotta do.
Right.
I mean, they say the opposites attract.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. What do you do as far as venting goes? Because I think that gets a lot of people in troubles in relationships where you are upset at your significant other and you go tell somebody else. Like, what's your process? Like, do you have people that you rely on that can give you sound advice?
Well, I think I'm single. I'm single, but I'm dating. And I will say,
Fellas?
if I'm
Name in the description
I know,
below.
right? If I meet somebody and let's say everything is going well, but I feel like I come across something that I feel like is in place.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of me calling my friend and telling her everything about the red flag, yes, I'm probably gonna do that anyway. She's gonna tell me how she feels, but that's not the end all be all. At the end of the day, it's still about how I feel. And I think sometimes people rely so much on what somebody else got to say, and it shouldn't be that. Yes, your people around you should, you know, if you reach out to them and you want their advice, you should be able to trust it. Like, I know my friend ain't gonna tell me something crazy. Like, she's gonna be like, well, you should talk to me. You should do this. You should figure out what the real issue is. She's not gonna say, fuck that nigga, let's go to the club, you know? It's about who you surround yourself with. If you surround yourself with somebody who's jealous of your relationship, they're gonna tell you the wrong thing regardless, because they want to see it fit.
Oh, yeah.
So you gotta know who you can trust.
Yeah. Where
you want to go with the whole thing. But at the end of the day, I would rather vent to the person that I'm dating. Hey, this made me feel like this. I really want us to be able to work on this. And based on how he responds, it's gonna tell me whether or not I need to stay in the situation.
Right. That's solid. I think that's sound advice. I've heard from a lot of females that a lot of females are vindictive and they are not to be trusted. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think guys really, we're naturally competitive, like, you know what I'm saying? But like, if one of my partners called me up and had an issue with that girl, like, I'm not gonna tell you anything that's left because I don't like your girl or nothing like that, because I don't know what she does for your life, like your lifestyle, like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm one of the, and KJ tell you, I'm one of the probably most brutally honest people. If you want my opinion, I'm gonna caution you.
Gonna give you the real.
You don't want this shit, don't ask for it. But if you ask me for my opinion, I'm gonna give you my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be unfiltered, and I'm gonna give you why I feel the way that I feel. You know what I'm saying? And I hope you take that information. Don't take it for face value. Just absorb it and see how you want to use that information in the circumstances that you're in. But at the end of the day, you have to have people around you that have no motive in having conversations with some of the situations that you find yourself in. If everybody's motivated, if you go left or right, then how can their opinion be biased? You can't.
Yeah. Right. Definitely about who you surround yourself with. I've seen guys, like even just what I was friends with, I've seen their homeboys do stuff to mess up their relationship because they already ain't shit. So it's like, I don't want my homeboy to be shit either. So your girl tripping, come on, let's go fuck some bitch. You know? Dang. And it's just like,
I ain't know what you're talking about. And since we brought it up, I think it's important to point out that a lot of do you think most men is out here having sex, or do you think like most men are kind of like mediocre?
You mean like, are they having sex with a lot of people?
Yeah, like the average guy. Do you think the average guy is having sex with the average girl?
It depends, because a lot of guys tell me that they aren't. They could be lying.
Nah.
Honestly, I based it off of his job.
Oh,
He's working a lot, then you don't have a whole lot of time.
Okay.
But you a scammer, you don't clock in, you don't do nothing, you just be out and about all day.
Well,
you got more of a chance.
Well, I know, I've heard through the grapevine, there are some jobs are usually where a lot of the scandals happen at.
And that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
Crazy.
It depends on like call centers.
I don't think the average man is walking into his job and being like, who in here? Not average. Maybe the ones that's like that, sure, but that's probably like 3 out of 10 of them that's really like that.
I would think the percentages are low. I think, as they say, men can only be as faithful as their option. And I think that's true because, again, if I wanted to go buy a car, right, and all I thought I could qualify for was a Honda, I got my Honda, right? If a nigga pull up to me and say, hey man, I give you that Lamborghini for the same price, I'd be like, you for real? Like, I don't want that Honda no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, respectfully, you know what I'm saying? For the Honda women out there in the world.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, most men who find themselves in those positions where infidelity comes up, right? I don't believe they really thought they had a shot with half the females that they laying up with. It's just one of those things that just kind of fall into your lap, like, damn, I didn't even know she was right. Because you don't know which. I think it would be beneficial if we could keep a record of the dudes that you fucked with before the guy that you're talking to, because then I think his mind would be at ease, because we don't know what kind of dudes you used to talk to. Yeah. Maybe you talk to a trap dude, scammer, rapper.
I think throughout your life, you're going to be a different person in every time. Okay. So you like a businessman right now. You probably wasn't always a businessman.
No,
you know what I'm saying? And the girls you talked to back then, they was talking to that version of you.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
It's not to say that you're the same person or that you're going to cheat or men are going to cheat. I don't think all men in general.
Thank you.
I don't think that.
Thank you. Say it again.
I don't know if y'all gonna like this part. I think weak men cheat. The reason I feel like that is because it takes discipline not to cheat on your lady. Even if it's a fine lady and she just throwing it at you. She like, please take me home.
Yeah.
If you weak, you gonna fold. You gonna take her home because she fine.
Yeah. And it's also about what you have at home, right?
Yeah.
So you have some females that respectfully talk a good game in a bedroom and don't necessarily deliver some of the more eccentric type sexual experiences. And what I mean by that is, like, there are some people who watch porn. I won't say it because I don't want to be monetized. And men, we internalize those things, and we might want to travel off and do those with our significant other. If a guy come to you and say, I want to stick my finger in your butt, you say no, that don't mean he still don't want to stick his finger in your butt. You're just not going to let him do it. So if he find a woman that's down with that, it gets hard. If she's cute, for one, she's out of his range from what he usually talks to, and she down to do the stuff that you won't let him do. Yeah. It's like,
I don't know. I just feel like, yes, talk about it with your partner if you want to do something new sexually.
Right.
Let's talk about it. Now, if you feel like you continue to talk about it and you just still not being fulfilled sexually, leave the relationship. If you ain't happy, leave.
True.
Then you can fuck anybody you want to.
What if you already married?
Leave.
But this is the thing. Would you go from driving a Honda to catching the bus?
Some people do, yeah. Some people do.
Knowing though, would you give up your Honda to catch a bus? Because that's what you're saying. You're really saying give up what you know is kind of yours for something that you'll have to borrow.
But if it's that important to where you have to go out and cheat, then is it really worth it?
That's valid.
Because it's so important that you just gotta go stick your finger in somebody's butt. You gotta do it.
Hey, I only live once. You know what I'm saying? I only live once. I got dreams too.
No. If you gotta do it, then be free to do it. But if it's something that it's like, it's not a deal breaker, I really love my Honda and all the features that I do have.
Right.
You should be okay.
Well, let's just say he want to go to the Braves game and catch the bus, put his finger in the butt. Then he want to come back home and hop into his car.
No,
I mean, he got that out of his system.
One of the reasons that I think weak men cheat is because, like I said, it takes a lot of discipline. But you guys take discipline to get up, be and work on stuff.
That's true.
Get up and work out. To get up and do whatever. That same discipline, I feel like, should apply to your woman. Like, have the discipline to treat her right.
That's true.
You got her.
That's true.
I just feel like, especially with rich men, I know this is a whole separate topic, but people feel like, oh, a man is wealthy, he can afford to cheat. No, I feel like they have even more discipline. You got discipline to wake up at 5 in the morning and take them cold showers or whatever you be doing to make millions of dollars. You have to really work and focus on that. And if you can't really work and focus with me, then we don't need to be together.
That's true. I think that's fair. I think it's difficult for rich men to remain faithful. A lot of them are single just because, like, that's when your options become plentiful. Like you start making money.
You have anything you want.
You want anything you want. Is the world is your oyster. You can have any female who's with the shit, pretty much.
You can have anything you want. You can have stuff you don't want.
Yeah, pretty much. You've turned down more than the average guy can get. It's tough, but you see it all the time where Jay-Z and Beyonce, they just scandal, he cheating, you know what I'm saying? Because it is very hard for men to consistently turn down good bucks. Like it's a tough thing. I mean, I don't know, women turn down, you've been turning down stuff since you probably were 13. You know what I'm saying? So It ain't nothing.
So y'all
another
discipline, y'all discipline started early.
Yeah, like, but a guy's been told no since he was 13.
Right.
So for now, everybody you can get approved for every credit card.
Yeah.
Everybody gives you an approval.
And I think that's when the maturity kicks in. Because if you get rich at 21, you going crazy. You are going crazy. But by the time you get to 45, you probably like, okay, all right. I can relax a little bit. They probably still gonna get them a 20-year-old, but still, they're a little bit more relaxed. Maybe a tiny bit.
Yeah. Because I guess at some point in time, like if you've been banging enough at 20, 21,
at some point you gonna relax.
It's like, all right, cool. This is just another situation I'm finding myself. When am I gonna find something real? You know what I'm saying?
You gonna get tired.
Yeah, I think you do.
Eventually.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
I'm tired too. I'm real tired too. But you know what? I feel like people get to the point of dating and they're like, oh, I'm tired of this. All men is this. All women is this. I think that's a little, I don't want to say immature because you're allowed to have feelings.
Right.
But I think it's not totally accurate. It's just you keep experiencing this same type of man. You keep experiencing this same type of man. I think at a certain point you need to be like, okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Why I keep going for these people? Why do I keep choosing this? Let me choose this.
Accountability.
Yeah, exactly. I keep dating these drug dealers.
Or get that one guy to DM a shot.
Yeah. I mean, he probably in a couple DMs.
But it depends on how they DM me. It depends on how they DM.
Yeah, I mean,
what you said.
Don't get the one that send you the pickle pit.
That's so disgusting to me, especially if I never asked you for it. Why would you do that?
So we gotta close because we
oh, sorry.
But this is a conversation that needs to be had, right? So unsolicited dick pics are a bad thing. Solicited dick pics are a good thing.
Yeah.
But
if I ask you for it, solicited means I asked you for it. Like,
but when?
How you feeling? I mean, it depends on
how you feeling.
I mean, like, if we're having a conversation and the conversation is taking that turn, and we both got space and opportunity, give me some.
Okay.
But if I just met you, I've had this happen. It was terrible. I met a guy online. He DM'd me, and we're gonna text, we talked for a little bit, and then the next morning he texted me good morning. I'm like, okay, cool, but I was at work, so I couldn't immediately text good morning back. By the time some time went by because I got busy, by the time I looked back at my phone, he sent me a dick pic.
Damn. Hell you talking about?
Maybe she didn't want that get a response to that.
I just met you less than 24 hours ago. Why is you sending this through the mail? Like, respect yourself a little bit more than that, please, sir. You don't need to be sending me this. I don't even know your middle name.
That escalated quick.
Very.
Too quick. And y'all, what happened was I told him, I was like, I don't really do well with unsolicited dick pics because I just feel like let's talk a little bit more. I don't even know if I want to do that with you. Like, I don't know. We don't know where this is gonna go. And after that, he blocked me. Because I guess I wasn't just ready to fuck,
Playing games. I made sure the vein was popping out and everything. You talking
right angle in there.
You don't know what you're trying to do after this.
How long it took me to take this picture?
Right. How many angles I had to snap.
It's crazy.
The baby oil I used to take.
Man.
Ridiculous. I don't know if people get good responses from that, but not from me.
Well, I mean, if they sending it, I would assume they have to have some success.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I don't think there's a man alive that got upset that he got an unsolicited titty pic.
I don't know.
I don't.
Absolutely not.
I'm quite sure you probably like.
Absolutely not. You're like, oh shit.
He's like, oh shit.
He happy. She sent me one without me.
Right.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah,
I got one.
He gonna be happy about that all day.
Oh yeah,
all day.
Which is funny though, because you would think women would send them more because it does. Men have to feel like, excuse the term, men need to feel like that nigga. And if they don't feel like that nigga, they gonna find themselves in a space or with a person who makes them feel like that nigga. And if that's temporary, maybe it's temporary. But ego is a big thing for men. And if you don't stroke a man's ego, if y'all have sex and he asks you how good it was, he ain't really comfortable about his performance. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't stroke his ego, he starts feeling like less than, and then he's like, all right, well, instead of working with it and like, oh, let me see what she like, he be like, I done fucked up. Let me just find somebody else.
Right.
I think that women or I'll speak for myself. I like to naturally, like, if I'm with a man and I really like him, I want to make him feel like that. Like, I want him to feel like, I want him to feel good about himself because I think he look good. I'm fucking with him, so
Yeah.
I feel like that's A++.
Hey, right. Y'all need to take some notes and listen to this. Listen to this, fellas.
That's for the right man, though. Not everybody. I don't even want to say deserves because we're not judging people here, but not everybody is. Not everybody has earned that kind of treatment.
That's
from
true.
Whoever they talk to.
That's true.
And you got to get there. Everything to be paid to get there. I feel like people just want it so fast. Like, you sent me that in less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
What did you have to contemplate? I done showed you what was on my mind.
Right. Just come on. That's it.
Yeah.
Now that tells me you really don't want to know me for real. You don't want to date for real.
Right.
You just want to have sex.
Well, I mean, every guy.
Of course.
Every
guy. Not
Mm.
just. Every guy's going to want to do it, but not just that.
Yeah.
If it's just that, then.
Yeah. If I'm okay with you being around after the fact, if you grab the remote after, and I'm okay with you grabbing the remote.
If you become the big spoon.
You know what I mean? Like,
I ain't never been the big spoon.
you get done and you roll over and you feel the arm like.
Okay, you know what? Now that you say it like that,
yeah.
Maybe once or twice.
Oh man, well, we've had fun on this episode, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in. As always, we're gonna bring y'all some more content here shortly, so y'all stay tuned in. We're gonna have her information down below, so y'all go follow her on social media platforms. As always, it's the Last But Not Least podcast. It's your boy, Mr. Snap Episode.
KG.
See y'all later.
All right.